Patch 7 is just around the corner. It's in closed beta now, according to Community Update 28 for Baldur's Gate 3. And it's a big one, everybody, because modding is almost here. It's coming in September. This is the big update that a lot of people have been waiting for because, as great as the game is, as much fun as we've all had, this is a second life for Baldur's Gate 3 because it's what's going to take it from being just a great single player RPG and turn it into something where everyone's going to be able to find something unique that they can create and contribute to the Baldur's Gate 3 scene for years to come. And I think this is what's going to breathe even new life, which it's crazy to think about that it doesn't even need new life. It's just that it's going to get even more. It's like icing on the cake. This is the cherry on top. This is the absolute best of the best, the creme de la creme. Let's dive into the patch notes. If you have not already read through this, Community Update 28 closed beta. What kind of news can we expect? It says this September, Patch 7 rolls out the perfect escape with split screen updates, brand new cinematics for evil endings, plenty of bug fixes, and our official modding toolkit, which we talked about in our last community update. So we've got some previews for it. And as always, I guess since they've said it, we should say it here as well. Spoiler territory ahead. So if you don't want things spoiled, this would be the chance to turn away. I'm giving you a chance to turn away before we go any further. All right. Split screen updates. Said dynamic split screen mode is incoming. With our next update, friends will no longer be eternally confined to their side of the screen because the power of friendship transcends all obstacles, including screen partitions. When playing in co-op, you'll now have the option to have split screens merge into a single screen when you're near each other. You can access this directly from the HUD and within the game settings, both in and out of combat. Dude, that's dope. Like to be able to be playing on split. I wonder if I could get Chris to play this on split screen. Maybe this winter when we've got some spare time and we're not doing so much stuff outside. Oh, that's a pretty cool fix, man. Not a fix, but just an addition, like a dynamic. It's like you're getting close to each other. You don't need to be both at the edge of the screen there in the middle. We just merge it. Continued improvements to Honor Mode. With Patch 7, even more creatures have bestowed additional legendary actions, including the Bulette, Malus Thorm, and the Githyanki, Trasiskan, and Terari Hrek, and Ptaris. Doragzan will now also be able to use a spell called Arachnid Compulsion, which is going to rally the spiders in the pit to come fight you. That's scary, dude. Those spiders are nasty. Baldur's Gate 3 modding toolkit. This is the one that everyone wants to know about. Come September, you'll be able to load up your game with a range of new game mods and even try your hand at making some yourself. There's a modding fact they've got a link to if you wanted to have more information on modding the game and for more information on what the modding support is going to look like for Baldur's Gate 3. It says we're currently working with Baldur's Gate 3 mod authors during our closed alpha who have been busy testing out the toolkit. To find out what some of them have been working on, keep reading. The toolkit itself is going to give you everything you need to edit or create entirely new content, including items, cosmetics, classes and subclasses, races. Really? These can be created and edited to determine overall appearance as well as their individual powers and abilities. Dice skins, user interface, and quality of life improvements. Okay, these are pretty big. So I could speak as someone who has actually published a tabletop game. One of the things my brother and I were doing when we were designing things was what rule set are we adapting? Ultimately, we went with 5th edition at the time. We then made it agnostic after the fact to be just a Roll20 based set. But one of the challenges was taking the 5th edition rule set and taking the OGL that was there at the time and modifying existing classes and subclasses and races to fit what we needed for our unique world. So this is the world of the Weave in the Void, which we've talked about in other places. There's a channel for it for those of you who want to dive in. Here on this YouTube, there's a playlist called Project Dramond where you can find out more information about that. We've worked on that for about 3 years, published a tabletop game, the first novel in the series, point and click adventure game. All that was done through our Patreon. And for example, we have a race called Brownies, which we looked at sort of the brownies from the movie Willow. We kind of took some inspiration from that. Obviously, we made them our own, but we were like, how do we make these? So we were like, well, let's take the wood elf as a base and blend it with some other things that we want to. And then for the halflings that we had, we created something that was more akin to the halflings that were in the movie Willow, because they were more grounded the way we wanted them, as opposed to being Hobbit styles, and so we just took the halflings and modified them. And then we also had ice elves, and then we had our elves split up between high elves, ice elves, the sea elves, and the wood elves. So we were able to take the elves and further break them down from there. So it's really cool that they're giving you the ability here to um, work with the classes and subclasses to create new variants or modify existing one to edit abilities, powers, and skills. As far as the races go, it says these can be created and edited to determine overall appearance. I wonder how flexible that is. I've not ever gotten into modding because if you could truly create something that looks absolutely unique, this is something where I could go in and mod something and create a version of the Weave in the Void using the Baldur's Gate 3 toolkit. That's exciting to me. I don't know that I have time to do that, but it's cool to think about that I could do it if I wanted to. Quality of life improvements, mods that edit or improve gameplay that don't rely on unsupported elements. Where you going, Pippin? Evil Endings Patch 7 will also be bringing several new cinematics that offer you your evil playthroughs a grander finale. From Avatar origin characters, including the Dark Urge, then multiple different pathways you could take as your own player character. With each new cinematic is yours to discover through nefarious means. Feast your eyes on the teasers below and be on the lookout for more heading your way. Oh wow, that's a cool animation sequence right there. Dark Urge bug fixes. Ironing out camera pops, missing inspiration, VFX, and a few other issues. But will we be able to kiss Gortash? We hear you plead. We want to kiss Gortash. Let's just say he's a complicated guy. Origin character bug fixes and cinematics, in-game dialogues, and clipping issues, broken triggers for quest dialogues, romances, etc. Will highlights says there's a bunch of fixes for Will and some stuff for Asterion, including facial animations during kissing cinematics. Lae'zel has a few things. Karlach has some general fixes. Okay, there's also some stuff for Gale, some stuff for Highlight, party banter improvements. And then here it has a list of the progress for Baldur's Gate 3 toolkit. Dun, dun, dun. We invited mod authors to join a closed alpha, which they've been busy building their Baldur's Gate 3 mods using official modding tools. Mod author Padme 4000 has been tinkering around with the toolkit, has been able to bring her Dragonboard scale colors mod to life. And then they list the before and after from the toolkit. Tech Robot has been modifying colors in the game. Okay. Lost Soul says, learn about the UI. Make my first. Okay. Slightly better Oyen. Okay. Makes all dyes reusable. And then, okay, closed beta goes into effect on July 22nd. And then it says here, you can go to the Baldur's Gate 3 store page of Steam and register now for your chance to take part in the Patch 7 closed beta. There's new merch online. It says it's not goodbye just yet. Patch 7 won't be the final update for Baldur's Gate 3. We still have a few things up our sleeve, including many community requested features like crossplay. Dude, crossplay is going to be huge. Are you kidding me? Hell yeah. And a photo mode to capture and share your unforgettable moments. We're working on a host of other enhancements as well, from gameplay tweaks, quality of life improvements, and I guarantee there will be some sort of like definitive edition that comes out at some point. Yeah, really cool. Well, that's pretty awesome, guys. Obviously, this is just the news. The patch isn't here yet, but this is Community Update 28 with everything we need to know about Patch 7, which is coming in September, including the modding. Love to hear about it. And again, as always, if you want more information on Baldur's Gate 3, don't forget to check out the playlists down below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams here and on Twitch around 11 a.m. Central Time. And we'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget Discord, Patreon, all the socials, everybody. Stay safe. Happy gaming.